purpose of this video is to teach you how to use hot glue as an art media rather than just an adhesive. So the first thing that you need to realize is that hot glue requires some sort of armature. Well, what's an armature? An armature is basically something for the hot glue to stick to. So one easy option is to actually use tinfoil. So you take the tinfoil and you create your sculpture. If you need to hot glue your pieces of tinfoil together, you are welcome to. And then essentially your hot glue goes right over the top. And this area is kind of done. So you do notice the hot glue is there, but it kind of becomes secondary. Another option is to use clear plastic, which we have available in the room. It comes in containers like this. And again, I built a little tree, and then essentially my hot glue drizzles right onto this structure. So here's an area where I've done kind of that top part, and here's an area where it hasn't been done, and you can see it's just see-through, or like the trunk hasn't been done. So I'm going to demo those for you. Finally, if you don't want to see tinfoil or the clear wrap, you can actually make structures out of the hot glue itself. So like here, I made a little piece, and then I could put the colored hot glue or whatever I wanted over the top of this. Oh, I forgot another one. You can just use paper, so this happens to be paper. All right, let me demo how this works. So you can go right, first off, you gotta have your hot glue mat. You have to have your hot glue gun. Your hot glue gun has to be very hot. And then there are only two guns that we can use for the actual hot glue. So the one that's barely being held together with duct tape, because this does cause an end to the life of the hot glue gun pretty quick. Then you simply take your crayon. You never put the crayon inside. That does not work. And I know you'll think you found a video where it does, and they are lying to you. You just start the hot glue on the actual crayon, and then it essentially turns into a droplet. And the further away you are, the further away that droplet is. So if you wanted the whole thing, like if I wanted his entire head to be red, then I could be right close and making sure to lay it right over the top of my armature. If I wanted to do that drizzle effect, then clearly I'm up higher. The higher I am, the more I can get kind of that stringy effect. Okay, so here's more of a close-up of that work I just did. So you can see this is where I did a whole dribble burst. This is where I let it get stringy. Okay, the other one is to drizzle right on top of an object. And again, to get this stuff off, you can actually dunk these in water overnight, or you can just have the art teacher skill and get it pulled right off. But you would always want that to be off. And then essentially, I'm way up high because I'm wanting it to drizzle. So I'm way up high. I'm tilting my crayon down so it wants to run off the edge of the crayon. And then essentially I move my crayon as I work to kind of get that stringy effect. The more I move, so I'm putting it on like this, and then the faster I move my crayon, the more stringy it becomes. My hot glue gun's been unplugged now for a while while I've been doing this. And then also, like if I wanted to do this part and wrap it, see I can load up my crayon, and then I can do it. I can even put my crayon straight on here and apply it that way if I wanted it to be totally solid. So you can see like there's an area where it's going to be completely solid, and you would have no idea that I have this plastic on underneath of it. So it doesn't have to be see-through-y mesh like this. Okay, then you can also just draw straight on to the paper. So to do that, I draw out my plan in advance. I put my hot glue where I want it to go. I keep the area pretty small because it's going to go as soon as I touch it. And then I get my crayon into that hot glue, and it's going to start to mix. And it's going to mix with anything that's near it. So if I wanted some of this red, I can put a little bit more hot glue. And then I can blend, my crayon's melting, blend it into the next color. And the fun thing with doing it this way is that it really creates kind of a 3D, I mean that's like literally sticking up off the paper and it looks like paint, but it's not, it's just crayon, and the colors stay really vibrant. You know, on this one I colored first and then I did these hot glue lines on top of it, and that's just where, you know, I drew. See how that hot glue line looks blue because it had blue crayon underneath. So that's how you can get that trick. And then essentially, if I did this, got to kind of push down on that crayon hard. And then I did the hot glue. Well, now it's got blue on the tip, so it's not gonna, it's gonna look purple. But then I could do that hot glue over the top. Sorry, that's turned purple because I cheated with the blue already. Okay, with that, I wish you best of luck. When you are experimenting, you're only allowed to use 1/4 of a glue stick. We want to make sure that we're saving the glue sticks for our actual sculptures. And keep in mind that if you're doing a glue stick sculpture, the sculpture is relatively small. You can see that in comparison to my hand.